Right now we're at about 111 pounds energy corrected milk.
Are you buying quota? You got some?
I did buy a little bit, maybe 25,000 pounds. That's it. Put up 65,000 ton of corn silage this year, so I have a couple years inventory. I like that. That's kind of the key to the production for me. Right now on the just silage alone, I have $4.8 million sitting there. We do off sync where we synchronize, and our breeding days are basically Thursday.
Well, we have another person that joined us. This is George Kasbergen, and
Hello.
He's the owner-operator and the head chef, and pays all the bills, right? And
yep, for the dairy.
Do they pay you a lot of money? Does he pay you?
Garrett does payroll.
I do payroll.
Holy cow. Great, fantastic. Well, we just want to know a little bit more. Why are you here? Why did you're from California, are you not originally?
Yes.
Why'd you come here?
Reason, it was urban encroachment in Southern California, and milk prices were better in the Midwest than in Southern California, and the feed is cheaper. So my dad says if you don't have to figure, then it's probably a good deal to move.
That's right.
Even though we moved 2,100 miles away from family, we're glad we're here.
Well, the question might be you're shipping milk to Prairie Farms.
Yes.
You always didn't do that, did you? Or?
No, I did not. I started out with Grande cheese, our dairy up in Wisconsin, where we milk 2,000 cows. We ship our milk there, and then I was just piggybacking on that operation with this one, and shipped there for maybe, I'd say 3 or 4 years, and then Prairie Farms called me up, and I made the switch, and I've been happy ever since.
When did this farm get established? In 2000?
October of 2002. So we've been here 22 years.
Milk? You'd be milking starting in October
2nd of 2000.
You know that date? You know that date
Yeah.
well. What kind of milk are we getting off of these cows?
Right now we're at about 111 pounds energy corrected milk and 108 pounds fluid milk.
Which means that your Butterfat test is sitting
375.
375. Where's protein at?
Protein's little loads right at 3.0.
3.0. Man, you could get big after that nutritionist as far
Yeah,
as,
we need a better nutritionist.
because you get paid for that right now.
Well, you get paid more for the fat.
Yeah, but the protein's coming back finally.
Yes.
Finally,
Yeah.
it was way down there for a while, but now, but the fat's staying high. But buckle up, guys. Have you seen what happened to the butter market the last couple of days?
No, I have not.
Oh, you don't want to. You don't want to look at the butter
dropped.
market.
What happened to the butter market?
It went down. It went down. Yeah, butter market went down. Cheese stayed pretty stable, but they're still talking. $22 per hundredweight for 3.5. Obviously, you're doing better than that with Prairie Farm. Will you get 24?
Probably.
Yeah.
Gross, and our hauling is about $1.05 per hundredweight.
Okay. We were at World Dairy Expo, and there's a Jersey breeder there. He's over $30. Of course, he had a five Butterfat test, but he's over $30 as far as that goes.
Yeah, I see like a lot of Holstein herds like are in the mid. Our dairy up in Wisconsin is at 4.4 and 3.4 protein.
Wow.
Yeah.
Now, are you a partner of that as well?
Yeah, own half of it.
Half and half.
Yeah.
Is it herd in California still? You still get cattle?
No, I have no cattle in California.
It's all emptied out?
My older brother is expanding his operation from 4,500 cows to 8,000. Going to put a rotary in, and 120 cow rotary, and expand, basically put new roofs and free stalls on his barns and make them wider. A 6-row barn versus a 4, and they would just do all the palpation and all the vet work inside.
Is that going to be California? That be in California?
That my older brother, yeah.
Okay.
In
Wow.
case, yeah.
Okay. Fantastic. Well, another question is, what are we feeding these cows out here? We saw some big corn silage piles.
Yeah.
There's a lot of corn silage out there, sir.
Yeah, I put up 65,000 ton of corn silage this year, and I still have about 5 months left of 23 silage. So I feed around 3,000 ton a month.
Wow. Fantastic.
So I have a couple years inventory. I like that. That's kind of the key to the production for me.
Okay, just a consistent diet.
Yeah, and it sits, and it's highly digestible. This year's corn silage, our first crop, was between 43 and 48 starch.
Wow.
And
that's right here, raised right here.
Yeah.
Are you high chopping or not? No, you're taking a roll.
Yeah.
That's a huge number.
Then
huge.
we planted corn after our wheat, and that was between 38 and 43.
Wow. No any soybeans being raised?
No, we didn't have any soybeans this year, but next year I will.
You will next year. The wheat is being taken off as a cover. It's a cover crop, obviously.
Yes.
I assume is this your land right here?
Yes.
That's wheat. That's wheat. That's
No, that's oats.
Oh,
I'm having my neighbors grow all the wheat.
Oh.
They're gonna
So
grow
this could be
500.
fall oats.
No, it's just a cover crop.
Oh.
Yeah.
Because you could harvest that, in November. That's a really good crop.
Yeah.
When'd you plant it?
Good
August.
question. Yeah, right after silage. Yeah, probably beginning of September.
You need 60 days.
Yeah. What? Yeah.
Boy, it makes fancy feet. But then it's no longer a cover crop either. If you take
Right.
the plant is still there. I mean,
Right.
you're
Yeah.
going to
I
harvest
just do
it.
it for erosion purposes.
Yeah.
I used to do oats and radishes to help with the compaction and stuff,
Yeah.
but the radishes got too expensive.
So basically, the calves are being raised still by over.
By Quinn and Nelson's ear. Yep.
I mean, how many? Were they 2 months? He keeps them 2 months over there.
No, they keep them there about 7.
7 months.
Yeah, 6. 7
Wow.
months.
So he's got them weaned at that point.
Oh,
and,
yeah.
And off and
And then
running.
from there they go to northeast Colorado at Chuck Feldposh, and then I get them back at about, I'd say 20, 21 months,
Okay.
and they calve at.
What do they
22.
charge you? $2.50 a day out there?
A little more.
A little more than that.
Yeah.
now. Even with
$3 a day.
$3 a day.
Even with
cheap feed.
Yeah,
cheaper
but I'm
feed.
sure they're locked in.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah. Wow.
so it's not cheap.
You get to pay that bill, don't you?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not
But it
cheap.
works well. I assume it works well. You're not going to bring them back.
No,
Heifers.
no, they come back at about 21 months of age, weighing a little over 1,400 pounds.
Wow.
And
They
they have
really
60
grow-
days.
They grow them well for you.
Yeah.
You're satisfied with the body condition
Yes.
and growth rate.
Yeah.
Well, they put 1.5 pound, 1.7 pounds on
Yeah.
those heifers. It's all your genetics, I assume.
Yep.
Speaking of genetics, how do you catch these cows in heat here?
Uh,
We saw 4 of them in heat. If you want the
oh,
numbers,
you didn't breed them for me?
I'll get back to you on that.
Okay.
Will you enroll in my class?
No.
Then I'm not going to breed your.
cost too
Then I'm not
much.
going to breed your cow. So
All right.
Yeah.
that's just trade off. Just trade off.
Yeah. So we do off sync where we synchronize, and our breeding days are basically Thursday, and we breed, and then we do our own preg checking. We do that on Fridays, and we dry cows on Tuesdays. Hoof trimmer also comes every week on Tuesday. My nutritionist comes every Wednesday, and so that's been
Wow.
like that forever.
And you're with Dave Doyle, I assume he's your
Yes.
nutritionist.
Yeah.
Is he still with Big Gain or who's he?
No, he's with Standard Nutrition.
Oh, okay, Standard. Yeah.
And
Good,
then I
good
give him a
company.
majority of the feed or the mix or milk cow mineral, and I get a pro mix from Eastland Feeds.
Okay, comes from Eastland. Gotcha. Very good. So it's a heavy corn silage based diet, I assume. We saw some straw out there. Is that for dry cows or some straw?
No, we feed some straw to the cows also
Okay.
because the digestibility on the silage is
So high.
pretty fast.
Are you BMRing the corn silage or
No.
no? Are you using a high starch corn silage though? Or are you?
Well, I plant what the farmers plant, just for corn, whatever the yields them
Oh,
the most corn.
so you don't have a say into the if
Yeah.
it's Pioneer or if
Well,
it's, or,
just for my own land, not to my neighbors.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So how much land do you run here?
2,000.
2,000, and then you're running what? Another 2,000 rental?
No. 2,000, and then I get 328. Yeah, 2,300 acres total.
Total. And there's enough. That's enough land for all this manure.
Yep.
From all these
Well,
cows.
I do put manure on. My neighbor just started last year. They have. I'll put it on about 1,600 or 1,800 acres of their land.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, do you give that away or do?
No.
Good man.
Yeah. So last year I put 20,000 gallons an acre, and I charged them $150 an acre for that.
And that's based on the nutrients that you're putting on.
Yes. And so basically it cost me around $300 an acre to put it on. I'm only getting half back.
Oh.
At least I get something.
Yeah. Okay. So that's all coming out of. Now it looks like the lagoon is about half empty. Is that right?
Yeah, we have another 50 million. We pumped out 50 million on my land, and we're going to pump out another 50 million on the neighbors.
And that's all truck driven.
No, it's all drag hose.
Oh, drag hose.
Drag hose and injected.
So where's the $300 coming from for?
It's 0.014 cent per gallon.
Per gallon for the drag line for
Yeah.
the company that drags her in.
Yeah.
How do you get it over there? Underneath the road or?
We'll go onto the road. And
Through culverts or
there's
something?
2 or 3 mile long hoses and
Wow.
booster pumps.
Holy smokers!
Yeah.
Yikers! As far as that goes, is the breeding done by a bull stud or your personnel? Who does the injections of the hormones and who does the breeding?
All my guys, I have 4 guys, and they all know how to breed, and they do the injections, and one guy does all the preg checking, so we just do it all in-house.
Wow, phenomenal. What kind of a preg rate? Do you know what kind of preg rate you got in the herd?
Right now, I think we're running around 32.
Fantastic. Congratulations. That's excellent.
The weather actually this year was a lot cooler in July and August, and especially July, than normal, so we got a lot of cows pregnant in July versus almost nothing in July when it was so hot.
Doing any embryo implanting under heat stress or
No.
embryos?
No embryos. No.
No. Thinking that some people are thinking about it. Probably in Florida, where it's really hot. It appears
Yeah.
they get a little better conception rate by having the embryo rather than the semen going
Right.
in. Or is that
And when it gets super hot, then we'll just we'll use the Angus and sex semen, and then if it's really, really hot, then we just do conventional 100%.
Okay.
So at least
How much sex semen are you? How much sex semen are you using? What percent would you guess?
I'd say 50-50.
50-50.
Yeah.
And what about beef on dairy? That's the other 50%.
Yeah. The other 50 is beef on dairy, and all the heifers, probably 99% is all sexed.
Yep.
3 times.
Yeah, you'll breed them 3 times, and
Yeah.
then you'll move to the Angus after that.
Angus after that, and after the 4th service, then they're gone.
Boy, hard nose. Hard nose guy here.
Yeah.
I'll tell you. Even if they're a good cow.
Yeah. That's it.
Those good cows that after the 4th breeding, do they go some other place to another farm? No.
No, they go to slaughter and they get $2.50 a pound. So.
On the rail.
Yeah.
Where does that go up to Wisconsin?
No,
Green Bay?
that's being sold in Colorado.
Oh.
Those heifers.
Oh, the heifers. What about the cow? What about
the cows? Yeah, I'd send
heifers. I see what you're saying.
Yeah, I send 1 load a month after test day to either JBS or American Foods Direct.
Which is located where? Not in Illinois, are they?
JBS is in Green. Well, they're kind of all over. They'll send cattle to Pennsylvania, Iowa, Green Bay. American Foods is building a plant right outside of St. Louis right now.
Okay.
So I think we had 257 on the rail this last month.
What will that net out for you for a good
It was
cow?
like $2,100 a cow.
Wow, is that right?
Yeah.
Phenomenal.
But it costs you about $2,700 to raise a heifer.
Yeah. But now they're going for $3,000, especially those
Stringers,
crooks in California. They're really paying a high price.
I think if I had to sell some today, I'll probably ask $3,500 since I'm from California for the crooks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So are you now going to switch a little bit and even breed more heifers?
I have quite a few heifers coming in.
Because that's the talk now. People are saying, but you're 2 years away. You had to make that decision a year ago.
Yeah. We're within 3 months we'll be kind of ready to sell some.
What are you doing with the crossbreds? Are you raising them, controlling them, owning them? Dairy on beef?
No, just selling them.
Some of them at what?
A day old.
Day olds.
Yeah.
Day olds.
So day olds, I
Does it go to Zares or somebody else picks them up?
I sell them to Zares for $800 per head for the Angus.
And it's his. They're his.
Yes.
So if they die,
they're his.
They're his.
Yeah, and then $400 for the Holstein bulls.
Okay.
So that's no big, small, or anything else. It's just the average.
Yep.
Before he would price them on weight, and then say it would be 1,600. So we just averaged them out at 800.
So what is Zares typically charging? About $3.50-$4 a day on feed?
Yeah, 3 1/4.
3 1/4.
Yeah.
That's a good deal.
Yeah, but they get all my waste milk for free.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is there much waste milk here?
I probably have 60, 70 cows going in there.
What's the somatic cell count on the herd?
89,000.
Isn't that amazing? We were marveling at the cleanliness of the legs of the cow. I mean, that's what you can really see when you're watching the parlor.
Yeah.
Are you still milking every 14 minutes, trying to turn that parlor every
13? Yeah.
Every 13.
Yeah.
Can they make that?
Oh yeah.
Where's this going to go? I mean, you're on a quota, I assume, at this point. Is that
Yes.
is that a problem for you?
It's good. It's good. I'm at 355,000 a day right now. We're shipping 359,000, so we're a little over.
And if you're a little over at the end of the month, there's a small adjustment made, or
yeah, it's if you're over 100,000 pounds over, they'll charge you $12 a hundredweight.
Wow, $12. They charge you $12. Yikes!
I had some years, I don't know, maybe it was a couple years ago, that I think it cost me like at least $500,000 in overcharges.
Wow.
But they were at 15 at that time.
Yeah.
The milk was probably 16 or something. But see, this is, 12 is not bad.
No.
If you average it out over the whole thing, it maybe comes to
Yeah.
about 25 to 40 cents a hundredweight,
Okay. Okay.
which is not bad when you're at 23.
Yeah. Yeah. Somebody was saying that these bull calves, Holstein bull, adds about $2 or $3 per hundredweight to the profit line.
Yeah,
It's a
lot of income.
it's a big number.
Yeah.
I heard you sell some to the university too.
Yes, I do.
And $800 I heard you were
Yes.
charging them.
Yeah.
Where's that loyalty, fella? Where's that loyalty?
Yeah, but I buy them back.
I heard that.
Well, then Sean buys them back for me, and then he raises them.
But then do you pay the university for the gain? No.
Well, yeah, I mean, they, a deal is a deal. I asked them. They probably got paid by the pharmaceutical company or something.
Oh, we would never do that.
No,
We would never do that. We would never do that at the University of Illinois if you become a student, just so you know that.
I don't even use that.
Okay, what did you do right when you moved here? You said, boy, this is the best thing we ever did when we got here, and boy, this is a bonehead. We should have never done that, whatever that is.
Oh, on the facility?
Yeah, anything on the facility.
There's a few little mistakes here and there. Overall, everything works really, really well, except for my exception barn. The flume or the flush lane over there is kind of small and narrow, so that's my only drawback that I wish I did different.
Okay, okay. What did you do right besides moving here? Was this the right move?
Yes, definitely. Yeah, we've done really well, and Prairie Farms is a great co-op to ship to. They pay this last year. At least they paid really, really good patronage.
I heard over $2.
$227. I think it was.
$227.
And,
That's about 10%. That's a 10% bonus or more.
Yeah.
Yikes! Yikes!
So they paid they will pay 60%. And, they did pay 60% in cash, and then 40% in 7 years.
Yeah.
So that was really good.
I kept asking him how I get some of that 7% interest-free money, but I never seemed to get a call back.
Yeah, but it used to be 2% or 3%, right?
Yeah.
And now it's probably 7%. Yeah.
But I mean, to have it for 7 years with no interest.
Right. Yeah.
That's you can make money on that, can't you?
Yeah.
On that as well.
Yeah.
Fantastic. And you're buying quota? You got some?
I did buy a little bit, maybe 25,000 pounds. That's it. But then my thinking is that with milk production and number of dairymen Prairie Farms has and demand, that eventually they have to give us more base.
More base.
And they did. They gave us 3% last year.
Which is pretty significant, actually, in that respect. I heard that from some of the producers as well. But you've got to buy the base in this region here. That's your problem.
Right.
You don't have a lot of...
Well, the region used to be a lot smaller, and now it's a lot bigger. They only have 3 regions now.
Oh, is that right? They used to have like 7 or 8, I think.
Yeah, they only have 3 now.
3 now, what?
Yeah,
North,
so
Central,
it's
and South?
from here all the way to whatever, Tennessee, in the south half of Illinois. And then you got the northern half is another zone. I think Wisconsin and Indiana, that's another one. So there's 3.
Yeah. I
Zone
see
1, 2, and 3.
I see you guys bought a new plant again. Can't remember what state it's in.
Yeah, I read that too.
I can't think of it. And when you get old, that gets to be a problem.
I just read it.
I just read it too.
I think it was in Ohio.
Yeah,
maybe?
I think you're right.
Yeah, it was in Ohio. They bought a plant there.
Yeah.
And everything was going to stay the same, and so that's all good. And I believe there might be building another plant in southern Illinois.
I think I'll go UHT.
Yes. Yeah.
They were saying, I talked to a colleague of mine in Kansas, and 2/3 of the milk in schools is UHT milk.
Yeah.
So the kids just adjust to it.
Right.
And he said you can put chocolate, it helps, but you can't. It still tastes a little different.
Yeah.
Have you drunk it?
No.
I've consumed it.
Okay.
It has a different taste.
Yeah.
It's basically UHT milk. Boy, that solves a lot of problems.
Yeah.
With UHT milk, that would really be. That's where it's going to go. That's where it's going to go. The whole world is UHT except for us and.
And then they compete with Fairlife too. They compete with that too if they want to.
Yeah.
They ship that coast to coast.
But will that co-op? Why doesn't our co-op make a product like Fairlife? 50% protein, 50% more protein, and 20% less lactose.
Yeah.
I mean, that's got consumer written all over it.
Oh yeah.
All written all over it. And we're anyway enough. It's not. We don't need to talk about that.
Right.
We talk about you. We got to talk about you. Well, you're not going to add much more base here.
Nope.
You're not going to. Are you going to expand to another state like all these other big guys do?
I had to fill out the piggy bank, But yeah.
Well, that'll happen. You only need a couple more months. And
Well, I think with the per diem that I'm going to get, I should be able to afford it now.
That's right.
Maybe try to get into that Appalachian order a little bit into that area. But yeah, if you want to ship to Prairie Farms, of course, then you have to take your base with you.
Did you ever hear from the U of I? What do they do with? They're only milking 80 cows. They used to milk 225. What did they do with their base?
Yeah, I don't know. Well, can they sell part of it? I don't think
know.
they can sell part of it. Can they?
I don't know.
That's a good question.
See, I'm just way too Dutch, way too much Dutch. I mean, we would squeeze every penny twice, try to get that double it as far as that goes as well.
Yeah.
Well, I'm just trying to think. We got what's going to happen is they'll superimpose your answer when we're in the various parts.
Okay.
Various parts. So,
okay.
So we were in the parlor.
Yeah.
Tell me a little bit about the collection of samples of milk. It's collected here at the farm.
Yes.
Tell me how it's done. You're certified by the state, is that right?
Yeah.
So what does it do?
So we have a drip sampler in the loadout room that drips or mirrors basically what goes in one tanker. Then we just shake the sample up a few times and then put it in a bar-coded sample bottle, and that's what they take with the truck.
Oh, they take it with the truck.
Yeah.
So it goes with the truck.
Goes with the truck, and then
it's evaluated wherever the truck stops.
Right.
Wherever it plant.
Yeah. And then like the tankers we have now, actually, we used to only have 6,400 gallon tankers. Now we have 7,800 gallon tankers. So we cut off at least two semi-loads a day.
Wow.
That are being combined into 5.
So you how many do you have leaving here? 4 or 5 tankers a day?
5 to 6.
5 to 6.
Yeah, 5 most of the days, and every so many days.
And Prairie Farms coordinates all that for you. You don't have to.
Yeah, they coordinated with the milk truck driver, with the dispatcher.
Yeah, we saw a guy from, it was all Dodge. It looks like it was Dodge.
Dodgeville, yeah. They haul our milk in Wisconsin too, and they also have. We at our dairy in Wisconsin, we also have electric semi truck that brings milk to Grande. So they're like on a tier 1, saving the environment.
Okay. Okay. There's 2 basins out there, one on the right, one on the left. What's the difference between the 2 lagoons?
I have 3 solid settling basins, and that's where all the solids go in. I go 4 months into each solid settling basin, and they flow into cell A. Cell A is 800 by 800 and 25 feet deep, and then from there it flows into cell B, but we mainly just empty the 3 solid settling basins.
So the one way to the right is
cell B.
Cell B.
Yeah.
Is that where you pump the water to flush?
Yes. Yeah.
That's where the flush water comes from.
A and B. Both.
A and B,
Yeah.
and both. Are we flushing 3 times a day? How
Yes.
often?
Yeah.
During the typically.
Well, when the cows are out.
When the cows are out.
The pusher comes, it brings the cows in, and it'll turn the pumps on.
Okay. Oh, one last question. What's your labor situation here? Obviously, everything is harvested, planted with. You're not planting. You're not harvesting.
No, I'm not planting. I'm not harvesting. We only do the spring tillage and fall tillage, and then as far as labor on the dairy itself, during COVID and stuff, it was kind of hard to keep everybody because everybody thought they could take off and so on and so forth. So you have to pay your labor a lot more, about $18 an hour, and I have about 35 to 37 employees.
With the dairy?
Yes.
Now, I think one I heard one time was like 23 or 24. Does that make any sense to you?
How many?
23 or 24.
No, I never had that.
Never that low.
No.
Never that low.
At the dairy in Wisconsin, that's what we have up there.
Okay.
Yeah, 23, 24, yeah.
Okay, I've been up there once too, but no.
Yeah.
I'm getting old and senile, so fantastic.
Yeah.
Okay, housing is not on the farm at all?
I don't provide any housing.
Are you going to do that? Do you see that some of the newer farms in Wisconsin?
Yeah, I see that. It could be beneficial to do that, yes.
But that's just another thing to manage.
And I think.
But you got a man who can manage that very well.
Yeah, and then we got those. I think Quinzir actually has some of those. What are those A1 worker What do you call those that come over here for a year or like 8 months and have to leave? Like A1, they're on like a different kind of visa where they have to go back 3 months or 4 months out of the year.
Okay, and then they can come back.
Then they come back. Yeah.
Gotcha.
And you have to provide housing and all this stuff for them. And actually, my guy that chops my silage and pumps manure, he has a bunch of them from South Africa too. That he.
But are they white? I mean, there's a lot of
they're
South
like
African.
Dutchmen.
They're what?
They're Dutchmen.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, there's
wonderful
not much
dairy
work.
farms in South Africa. Wow.
Yeah, so there's not too much work for them out there, and then they're really good workers, and a lot
They
of
know
the
dairy.
teenagers nowadays and the young 20-year-olds, they don't want to work, so the silage guy started bringing them in from South Africa.
Will your bookkeeper answer this? Do you have a rough idea what it costs to put a ton of corn silage on the pile? In other words, they're going to chop it, they're going to pack it, they're going to truck it. Do they cover it as well?
No, we cover it.
Who covers that for you?
My guys.
Excellent job.
Yeah.
They tie all those tires together.
Yeah, they have to.
Both ways, and then you still put the fan underneath
Yes.
for how many days?
Probably that big pile, probably about 10 to 14 days.
Suck the air out,
Yeah.
and then you put down the limestone, or the limestone's down there already.
Yeah, limestone's already on there, and then we'll suck the air out, and then when they get the tires on, we take the fan off.
Right.
Well, we had 2 fans on the big pile.
Wow.
That's 55,000 in that pile and 10,000 in the other.
Wow.
So yeah, so say the chopping is $14 a ton. Chopping and packing is 14.
14.
Yeah.
Okay.
So-
A useful number because that comes up at some of our dairy meetings, and the old number was like 7 or 8, but that was 7, 8 years ago.
Yeah, they can't do that.
Can't do it for that.
They got $1 million machines.
I was seeing Jim Baltz's footage. You had 3 choppers here, but running 2. Is that right?
Yes, and at the end we kind of ran 3, and then we had 5 packing tractors. Yeah.
Just amazing to watch.
Yeah.
And boy, they had a system how they packed.
Yeah,
too.
they just go around, follow
Round,
the leader.
Yeah.
So it costs say $14. The tarp was, I'd say, about 15. It's actually, we do put the silo stop on it, and we have that 12 mil silage tarp. But they also put like a silo stop on it too. But we just put on the silo stop for security because it's a big pile, right?
So there's two layers of silo stop?
Yeah, on the 12 mil, they put a layer of silo stop. They glued it inside.
So it's in part of the tarp.
Part of the tarp,
Gotcha.
yes. So that tarp.
There's an argument how effective that is, but that's okay.
Yeah, I don't think it's that effective. But anyway, so we put the silo stop on first, then we roll the big tarp over it, and then we glue it to spray it, and then we get 20 guys on one side, pull the tarp down, and on the other side, and then put the fan on. We're done.
You could use the word tarp. It's not plastic. It's
a tarp.
It's a tarp. It's
Yeah.
not like a canvas tarp. It's a plastic.
Yeah.
12 mil.
12 mil, yeah.
That's heavy
So
stuff.
normally it's 6, right? 5
Yep.
or 6,
Yep.
whatever. So yeah, so I'd say the tarp and the
Do you have to
silos-
pull it over the top, or do you get it up on top and then?
We get it on top, and then we have a high hoe, like that thing.
Okay.
And then we just pull it as we're putting the 60 feet of the silo stop on each side, and then we pull it until we get at the end, and we pull on one side and pull on the other side and put the lime around it, and we're done.
Wow. Wow.
So yeah, so I'd say
Can you cover it in a day?
2 hours.
Wow.
2 hours. Yeah.
Wow.
The 10,000 ton pile only took us an hour, but the big one was 2 to 3 hours.
Yeah. Wow. Wow. And hopefully you don't have a windy day, I would guess.
Yeah, I think it's bad. So yeah, so let's say that chopping is 14, and then you got, I'd say the tarp and silo stop, say about 5,000 for that. Yeah. So yeah, so I'd say 20,000 to cover it, and the tarp
But help me back to per ton basis.
per ton basis.
You're a smart man. You can do that faster than I
Got a
can.
calculator. So yeah, so my all-in price with 5% shrink, because I only since I have a drive-over pile, I'm doing 5%. Normally I would do 10% shrink.
Yeah.
So my all-in cost is 40, and that's including, I think it was December corn futures. I think the first full week of September was around a little over $4.
Yep.
About $4. So the moisture was 64.5. So $48 dollars per ton fed, including the shrink.
$48 a ton fed, including the shrink.
Yeah.
Good number. Wow. Useful.
Yeah.
You've got the data to back it up. I mean, that's,
So
I'm not
over
sure.
there at
I'm not
that-
sure that'll be the tape, but it will.
Yeah, so that right now on the side, just silage alone, I have $4.8 million sitting there.
And I bet your banker goes nuts because you get all that value sitting there.
Yeah.
But I can remember the year you almost ran out of feed.
Yeah.
I can
So I said,
remember.
I better pour more concrete and put up some more acres. And this year we averaged, I'd say on the first crop, 29 and a half, or say 30 ton, and the second crop was 27.
When you say crop,
Corn silage.
you have two crops.
Yeah, one I planted right after the wheat. After we put up the wheat, let's I put corn behind it.
Okay.
So that was our second crop.
Okay.
So that was 27 ton an acre, and corn that was planted in April, that was 30 ton an acre.
Amazing. Just
Yeah.
think of the dry matter. Oh, that's
Yeah.
nearly 10 tons per acre as far as that goes.
Yeah.
Phenomenal. Welcome, students and potential students. We would encourage you to consider enrolling into our Santa Fe Dairy Nutrition and Feeding class. 50 different modules, different weeks of information that you can study at your pace. At the end of each of those modules is a quiz, and if you complete 70% of those quizzes and with a passing grade, then you get a certificate of completion. So not only is there the class that has all these modules in it, all the way from forages to reproduction, on-farm management, locomotion, that we also have a whole section on NASEM. NASEM, of course, is the new dairy NRC, and each of the chapters we discuss, and you can look at that at your leisure as well. Once a month we go live to classes in English, and you're able to get your questions answered and also hear more of the latest information. Each month we pick a topic. Some topics will be such things as byproduct feeds, another one will be feed additives, for example. And right now there's 3 or 4 brand new feed additives that are available for dairy producers here in the United States and in Canada. So certainly we'd welcome you there. We also have an international community. That's a kind of a fun one. If you have a question, you can send it in. And anybody who speaks that language, if it's an international community, it's English, and people that are enrolled in that, they will answer some of those answers. I will also go on every Sunday and verify if there's some questions that haven't been answered. I will answer them at that point. So it's kind of a complete smorgasbord of different opportunities, the class, the weekly and the monthly meeting. And then we also do what we call a research report. That means every week we highlight new information from a webinar that I attended. These are 4 to 5 or 6 minutes in length, or a new article from the Journal of Dairy Science. And so we try to keep you up to date on some of the latest research results. So hopefully you will find some excitement in joining us, and we'd love to have you as students. Thanks, and have a great day.